You're listening to the John and Heidi Show. Now, featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Ferris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
It's the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Mr. Dan Ferris. Good day to you, Mr. Ferris. How are you doing on this Monday?
Pretty decent weekend under our belts.
Yeah.
The weather broke. That's such a big deal.
I know. It's like, hey, it's kind of
It makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Whether you love winter or not, you can't. A lot of people just kind of bum out.
Yep,
Exactly.
for sure.
Crawl down, and others spring in our steps. We're sassy. We're saucy. Everybody's just getting along.
Yes. Let's pretend like we all get along.
1970s Coca-Cola ad.
Yeah.
Matthew Broderick, Ferris Bueller.
I liked him.
I did too.
60 today.
Is he really?
Yes, he is. I know. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to believe. Think what you like about her. She was okay in League of Their Own, awful in the Flintstones, but so is everyone else in that film. Rosie O'Donnell is 60 today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Heidi, this one's for you. I know you are a huge fan, and rightfully so. Eddie Mahoney.
Oh, Eddie Money. Love Eddie Money.
Born this
Missed
day.
that guy.
Yeah, left us too soon back in 2019, I believe it was.
Huge loss.
Yeah.
1891. I love this story a lot. 1891. A Hatfield marries a McCoy.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
What a wedding.
Ends the West Virginia decades-long feud, which started with an accusation of pig stealing.
Is that what started all of that?
That's what started all that.
No kidding.
1891. That's a pretty big infraction, man. You
That's
don't
a big
snag
deal.
somebody else's pig.
Steal my
Yeah.
pig.
Or chicken, for that matter, or anything else.
Yeah, leave my pigs and chickens alone.
All right. So, 1952. This is pretty amazing. 1952. Over 20,000 jacked up screaming teens converge on the old Cleveland Arena. Alan Freed presenting a show called the Moondog Coronation Ball and billed as the first rock and roll concert ever.
Oh, wow.
Here's the problem. Cleveland Arena had a crowd capacity of around 10,000.
Yeah.
Over 20,000 showed up. Authorities shut this thing down after one song was performed.
Wow.
That's too bad.
Cleared them out. Well, safety first.
They should have
John.
just cleared out half of them.
I wasn't there, John. And this is, you look back on this, like, exploring space and all this stuff, and it's like, what kind of animal we want to stick in the seat here? I don't know. Use this one. This day, 1962, Yogi the Bear.
Yeah.
Not the cartoon bear. It was a bear named Yogi. Yogi the Bear becomes the first critter to be ejected at supersonic speeds by the U.S. military testing jet fighter ejection seats.
Holy cow.
Did he have a parachute?
Poor thing. Had no clue what was coming.
Did he have
That's
a parachute?
horrifying.
Please tell me he had a parachute.
I've been trying to find photos.
Wow. It's not nice.
Could you imagine just being an unsuspecting citizen that happened upon that little
I love to
demonstration?
be sitting around, the room, the idea room, and here's all the military brass going,
I've got an idea.
these supersonic ejection seats are going to come in handy, but we got to test them. I don't, kangaroo, no. Bear, let's do a bear.
Yeah.
Based on what? We don't know. Let's just do that.
Oh my
How much vodka have you been
gosh.
there, Mike?
So, yeah, man, that's, I love this stuff. Hey, I know, we all know. We just jump ahead here.
Gonna do that. It is the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
The Vegas Travel Center is offering 3 days and 2 nights accommodations to Vegas. They'll completely waive the package price. Plus, you get tickets to your choice of activities as well as meals. Jump on this now. Obviously, a deal like this isn't going to last. When they're gone, they're gone. So don't miss out. Just call 605-210-5220 and they'll get you set up for a great getaway. Call now for this special radio offer. 605-210-5220. That's 605-210-5220.
Time now for a bright spot of news brought to you by Paul's Designer Showroom on Lake Lorraine in Sioux Falls. They can brighten any room with a beautiful light fixture. We are going to brighten your day right now with some positive news. We've got Jamie Wood joining us once again from the Small Business Administration. A lot of people have heard of the SBA. We talk to you here quite a bit. We enjoy talking to you. The last couple of years, you guys kind of took a leading role in helping a bunch of small businesses stay in business during COVID. Let's talk about that.
Absolutely. We have a couple of different types of disaster response going on right now in South Dakota. The first one I want to address is definitely COVID-19. So the activities for disaster recovery still continue. One of our flagship response programs has been the COVID-19 Emergency Injury Disaster Loan. And we've done, I looked it up actually earlier this week, we've done over $830 million worth of lending in South Dakota in the past 2 years for just that program alone. And the program is still continuing to go on. No more are applications, no longer are applications being accepted. That cut off on December 31st. However, for borrowers that were already in the queue, whether they had gotten notification on their original loan yet, because some of those that got applied for later on in the year last year, like right up until December 31st, they may still be processing for their original loan, but others who borrowed within the last 24 months, so earlier in 2020, because we're just coming up on that 24-month period right now, and April was really when the first loans started to go out, they actually can come back and ask for more. And so many have already done that. Originally, those loans were only up to $150,000. Then it was raised to $500,000, and now it's up to $2 million. So we're seeing a lot of small businesses that are, like in manufacturing, for instance, that have a lot of employees, are actually getting those loans that are upwards around $2 million. So there's still some funding available, and you have time to come back and ask for more. We do have some big news, John, though, that came out this week. At first, the payments were going to be deferred for 24 months. And again, we're coming up on that end of that 24 months right now, coming up in April. However, SBA this week extended that deferred window. So payments now are deferred for up to 30 months. So there's an additional 6 months tacked onto that. And I know that's going to, across the nation, but here in South Dakota, it's going to provide some additional disaster recovery relief to those small businesses that weren't quite positioned yet to start making some of those payments. And if you have a $2 million loan, that's a hefty payment. That could be, $10,000 or more a month, $10,000 or more dollars a month. So
that is a big deal.
It is, and so I know we're going to have some size of relief out there for that. You can make payments, though, during the deferment window as well. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. SBA really wants small businesses, nonprofits, and ag producers who took out an EIDL loan for COVID to go ahead and get set up to start making digital payments. And you can do that right through the SBA website. You can go to sba.gov/EIDL, EIDL, and there's a big red button there that says make a payment, you click on it, and it gives you all of the details on how to get your account established so you can start whenever your time period to start making a payment is, because everybody's is unique depending on their origination date. Yeah. Their payment date will be unique. So you can get started now. You don't have to wait for that deferment window to close to do that.
And there's also news on the Paycheck Protection Program as well, right?
Yeah, so the Paycheck Protection Program, it's more of a reiteration of what's going on. So that is a forgivable loan program. A lot of folks that got that, we had just about 64,000 of those loans between 2020 and 2021. There was a first draw and then a second draw. And so borrowers were able to take those out, and then they had a grace period where they didn't have to make any payments, and we're just kind of coming up on that grace period now. It was several months long, but they could put in an application after their window closed on when they were supposed to use those funds, and they can apply through the lender that they got their PPP from. They need to do that, otherwise payments are going to be coming due. But as long as you have an application that has been submitted to your lender, and the lender has submitted it to SBA for final forgiveness, you are clear on having to make payments as long as your application is in. Now, in South Dakota, the good news is we have almost all of those PPPs, those PPP loans, they have been applied for forgiveness, so that's really good. I'm hearing great news back from the lenders, but there's a few stragglers out there still, too. So pay attention to the timeline on PPP, otherwise you're going to get some surprise payments coming your way that are going to be due.
Jamie, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for doing what you guys do at the SBA.
We just really are here to help, and you can check us out at sba.gov/SD for more information on programs that we offer.
Very nice. Jamie, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Again, the website, sba.gov/SD. That's for South Dakota. Again, sba.gov/SD.
It's Bernie Carrick, former New York City Police Commissioner. If you own a gun, you need to check out StopBoxUSA.com, the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home and get instant, reliable access to that gun. It's an awesome weapon retention product, especially if you have little kids at home or frequent visitors. Get access to your gun in under a second. StopBox is the safest solution to keep a firearm in your home.
Use discount code RADIO to save 10% at StopBoxUSA.com.
You need to check out StopBoxUSA.com.
And now, stuff Dan finds interesting. Yeah.
It is time for Stuff Dan Finds Interesting. And Dan, what do you find interesting on this Monday?
You know, the subject got broached last week because, of course, we had the time change.
Yeah.
Last Saturday, whatever it was, the spring had an hour.
Yeah.
So down in Florida, little Marco Rubio, close personal friend of mine, writes up some legislation going, you know what?
We talked about this.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Why don't we just get rid of this?
Yeah.
Well, while I was reading that story, I'm going, why does this sound so darn familiar?
Oh, why does it?
Oh.
Because we did it back in the 70s.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I lived through it the first time.
So it was all passed in the 70s and we just didn't do it?
Actually, it took place for 2 years
Okay,
Really?
who brought it
in
back?
the 70s. Richard Nixon signed it into law.
So the time change went away in the 70s.
Congress voted on December 14th, 1973 to put the U.S. on daylight saving time for 2 years as an experimental type situation.
Yeah.
Nixon signed off on it the next day.
Yeah.
U.S. went into permanent daylight savings time. Also, we did it during World War II, which was actually a fuel thing.
Okay.
Anyway, you notice we're not on it anymore, permanent daylight. Yeah, because people hated it.
Really?
People hated it, and a lot of those people have school kids who go to the bus stops and things like that because it's pitch black out.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, kids were getting mowed down left and right. It was pandemonium.
Could they just change it the other way and have it where it's always the other time then, or?
So it's dark at 3 p.m?
I don't know.
I guess it depends on who you are.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know. That's
I
interesting.
didn't sign up for this, Dan.
Yeah, but again, while I'm reading this, I'm going, I feel like I've lived through this. Turns out I did.
Deja vu.
You have some foggy memories from
73,
70s.
74. No, I was graduating high school mid-70s. So I probably wasn't paying a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Well,
You didn't have to change your clock for a few years.
Interesting.
Probably didn't even own a clock. So yeah, factual picture a bit more complicated. National Safety Council back then reported the pre-sunrise fatalities had risen. Oh, my goodness, almost 20%.
Oh.
Here's the thing we got to keep in mind. Technology has changed so much.
Oh, it
since
really
then.
has. And how lighting works and cars.
Car
and
headlights,
everything
even
else.
everything. Everything's
Right.
changed.
Street lights are super bright
Right.
now.
Well, it's not law yet.
Yeah.
It hasn't
That's
passed
true.
through
It
all the
hasn't gone
channels
through- yeah.
yet. I just wanted to
We'll see.
point out
Interesting.
that this happened before, and this kind of was the take on it, and there was a reason
Right.
we went off it again. Because a lot of people were just going, you know what, this ain't working for various reasons. So.
Right.
And a lot of it was safety, actually.
Well, that's cool.
That early morning deal, that 8 o'clock hour was still pitch black.
Yeah.
7 to 8:30, whatever. So
Nice.
yeah,
Look at that.
thought that was kind of interesting.
Very
I
interesting.
did too, Heidi. Did you think it was
I absolutely
3 out
did.
of 3 agree?
I love when you two validate me.
We do. We like to. Dan, thanks for coming in, man.
Hey, bring it in.
Stuff Dan finds interesting. It's on the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Ferris.
At bettercreditcards.com, our mission is to help you get a better credit card. Why pay more interest than you need to? We have cards with amazing points and perks. If you're not a point person and just want the lowest interest rate, you can find those too at bettercreditcards.com. You can also find credit cards designed to help you build your credit. BetterCreditCards.com wants to help you get a better credit card. Give yourself a little credit at BetterCreditCards.com. That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Monday, March 21st, 2022. Equities ended last week higher after staging the strongest rally in several months. The move is good news for the bulls, but investors are cautioned not to read too much into it. Not only was last week quadruple witching options expiration, but there were quite a bit of short coverings in the market as well. This means most of the action was driven by the unwinding of derivative derivative positions and not true buying. In other words, last week's rally was a relief rally within a bear market, and investors should remain cautious. The next hurdle for the market will be resistance at the 4,500 level, and it may be reached this week. If no more bad news emerges, the market could surpass the level and make a move to retest the all-time highs. A move above 4,500 may be a difficult one, however, because there are few catalysts to spur buying on the calendar this week. You can get the inside track from Wall Street's brightest minds delivered directly to your inbox every day at marketbeatminute.com.